Hey YouTube fam, this is Nick here with LMD Studios, and with the success of Boba Fett on Disney Plus, I wanted to show love to the franchise by drawing the legend himself. So if you love Star Wars and you love Boba Fett, stay tuned for what's to come. For anyone that knows me knows that I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've been really hyped of what Disney's been doing for the past couple of years with The Mandalorian Season 2, and now with Boba Fett, even with the cartoon animated stuff like Bad Batch and the final season of Clone Wars. I wasn't a big fan of the sequel trilogy, but I really like how Disney is really redeeming themselves in the Star Wars industry, especially with the Disney Plus series. But let's get into Boba Fett. Originally I wanted this to be more of a history of episode where I go into the history of the character both in the storyline and in real life, but as an artist I've really wanted to focus on the art and really get into the creation of the character from a creative standpoint. Boba Fett was created by George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. Lucas actually based Boba Fett off of Sergio Leone's Man with No Name, played by Clint Eastwood, and it turns out that the creation of Boba Fett had to be done fairly quickly. See, A New Hope had came out and there was already talks about the next movie, and Boba Fett was promised to be in there, especially as a bounty hunter, but then Lucas wound up getting and overpromising him to be in the Christmas special that was supposed to come out later that year, which in all turns had not created Boba Fett yet. Now some people may know that, some people may not know that, but what a lot of people might not know, is even including myself until I was actually doing this video, is that the original design for Boba Fett stemmed from the original concepts of Darth Vader. See, originally Darth Vader was conceived to be a bounty hunter, like a rogue bounty hunter, but then that was scrapped, but the bounty hunter figure made it to the movies, and that's when George Lucas actually created another character for that role. Boba Fett was actually intended to be just as evil as Darth Vader, but a little less noticeable. In the movies, Boba Fett didn't really get much screen time, and when he did, there was not really much time for an epic scene. That being said and done, Boba Fett went on to becoming one of Star Wars' most iconic figures, even though he had the least amount of screen time. Boba Fett did get some more recognitions in the prequels, but nothing really to make him pop out as iconic. It wasn't until the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus, which shows Boba Fett as alive after being swallowed whole by the Sarlacc, that we get to see the truth of his epicness, thus giving us the Book of Boba Fett. Now the show is amazing, and it really does go to show that Disney is really trying to give us a great story, but since this is not a review on the show, I recommend you guys watch it for yourselves, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and check out Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. It really would make sense if you did it from that point forward, because then it would all be in chronological order. When I started coming up with the idea for this piece, I really wanted to get Boba Fett in a very iconic and badassery pose. And after looking at some photos, I really came across this one that I really liked, and I thought, hey, it just stood out and was like, yeah, that's the one. It had this kind of badass demeanor to it. So I figured I would take this pose, put him in the desert of Tatooine, and give him the color scheme of what he looks like in the Book of Boba Fett. You know, with the green armor and the black slacks underneath. But it turns out that I'm not the only one that really likes this pose. That being said, I did take some liberties into the piece, like such as color and putting less battle damage on him, and I also put a full background on it to really frame the pose of Boba Fett. And the contrast between the colors actually seemed to make Boba Fett pop out as much as possible, but at the same time really fills in the composition of the piece. Well, there it is, folks. I hope you liked the piece, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I really appreciate the feedback. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It would really help with our growth. If you guys want to see any more drawings like this or have any suggestions of other characters that you can do, reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter, or come hang out with me on Twitch. I stream live Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. The links to my socials are on in the description below. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.